People often ask me, how do I heal my emotional wounds from my past? How do I do that? I feel that they've taken over. I feel like I'm being controlled by them. And it's just becoming aware enough. Well, it's not. Obviously, it's not. Otherwise, most of us would by now be healed emotionally. Most of us have some awareness as to where they come from. Most of us have some memories of childhood abuse, of rejection from the past, of shame, guilt, whatever was induced, whatever was inflicted on us. So how do we do that? Well, we wait for an opportunity. We won't have to wait for a long time because they keep presenting to ourselves inevitably. And relationships are actually the greatest opportunity to heal those wounds, because we inevitably, no matter how good a relationship might be, how harmonious, we will trigger each other at some point. But they don't have to be significant relationships to trigger us. Anyway, you will know that you're triggered. How will you know? You will know by the intensity of the feeling. One of my clients said to me, so if it feels hysterical, that means it's historical. That's kind of cool. Yeah, if it feels really intense, you feel overwhelmed, you feel consumed by this uncomfortable feeling of shame or anger, rage, guilt, sadness, humiliation, whatever it might be. If it feels too intense, if it feels strong, well, chances are it is historical, it's transfers from the past, it's an old emotional wound being triggered. So what do? Well, first of all, you become aware of it, because most often we developed very, very, very early in our lives an ability to protect ourselves from those feelings by just blocking them, pushing them down, distracting ourselves, numbing ourselves so that we don't feel anything practically, more or less. Well, if you keep doing that, the more you try to push the uncomfortable feeling down, well, the faster it bounces up. As I said in one of my tweets, pushing down the uncomfortable feelings is like pushing down a beach ball, like on this beach here. The harder you push, the faster it bounces back up. So it's a constant work, exhausting work. So what do? You become aware of what you're feeling. You become aware, and you become aware that you remember that feeling most likely, for the most part, doesn't belong to here and now. Well, it's triggered by the present situation, whatever it is, but most of it belongs to the past. And with that awareness, allow yourself to go in. It's going to be very uncomfortable. That's why we learned how to protect ourselves from it. So allow yourself to go deep in. Really allow that feeling to take over. It's going to be very uncomfortable. But just go with it, knowing that you'll be okay, because you're not in the past. In fact, so the next step after awareness, allowing, recognition that it mainly comes from the past, the next step would be, while you are feeling, while you are in the grip of that really uncomfortable feeling, really painful feeling, it's so hard, it's so awful, you want to escape, don't. Instead, at that time, tell yourself, right in that moment, when the feeling is most intense, most painful, at that point, tell yourself, today is whatever the current date, the present date. Right now it's April 9th, 2018. And my name is Lana Rados. Obviously you'll say your name, not Lana Rados. And I am 59 years old. Obviously, you'll say how old you are. And just that, what that will do, it's the trick is, you know, when you are being consumed, overwhelmed by this transferential and a really painful feeling from the past, that your emotional brain is fully activated, but at the same time, by just stating the obvious, today's date, your name, how old you are, what happens is you're activating also the brain, the part of the brain that's logical, the part of the brain that's kind of calm, that's in control. So what you're doing is you're giving a message to your unconscious mind. Okay, although I'm feeling this feeling that I did when I was 3 or 5 or 8 or 12 years old or 17 years old or whatever, actually I am now 59 years old. So I'm an adult. So although I feel the feeling from the past, I'm not in the past, and I'm not that helpless child anymore. That's the best part. I'm an adult with adult skills to deal with those feelings. That's it. That's right. The moment you do that, enough of a break. I'm gonna walk a little bit more. Hope you caught a little bit of this beautiful view. Sorry, oops. All right, lava rocks in Maui. Yes. Yeah, I was walking and I was overwhelmed by the need to tell you, because when I walk, I think, as most of us do. Perfect time to think and feel and resolve some issues and be creative. So that's it. That's the start. And that's really, the more you do that, the more you will heal. But there's one more crucial ingredient that most people actually forget. And that is, while you're in the midst of the grip of that painful feeling, and you bring yourself in the present by stating the date and the time and how old you are. At the same time, bring another emotion, the feeling of gratitude. The knowing, the feeling of gratitude that comes from the knowing that this experience, as uncomfortable as it is, as much as you would love not to have it right now, it is actually a gift from your higher self to yourself, a gift from the universe, a gift from God, if you will, whatever you believe in. If you don't believe in anything, a gift from life, an opportunity. I have to watch where I'm stepping here. An opportunity to heal your old emotional wounds. So really cultivate gratitude in your heart for it. And it's just amazing. I'm telling you, when that happened to me for the first time many years ago, and it happened spontaneously, that's how I discovered it. In the midst of that pain that buckled my knees, and I fell down crying and sobbing and begging God to take that pain away. What happened all of a sudden, I became aware that I'm an adult. All of a sudden I became aware that that pain doesn't belong to the here and now. Well, a little bit, but not all of it and not most of it. And all of a sudden I became so filled with gratitude for it. And when I felt gratitude for it, it instantly transformed. It was just unbelievable, like something really heavy and awful was just gone. And I felt so light, and I felt so transformed and healed, for the lack of a better word. So that's it for now. I really have to breathe and go for a little bit dip in this gorgeous ocean here. See you later.